I like it.
This is the CHRILLCAST. I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
Billy, hi.
And we're trying this the second time because I accidentally ended the stream the first time. So my apologies.
Mm-hmm.
It was a mistake. And
Mistakes were made.
Best
Okay,
shortest stream ever, though. I like it.
It's like, all right, guys, let's see when we end the stream. All right, so I'm just gonna say the same thing as I said last time. Thank you to all you guys that subscribed in the last week or so. It's been really cool seeing those numbers jump as we cover a really important PlayStation topic. That is the PlayStation 4 9.00 update that's literally forked a whole bunch of consoles. But today we're gonna have some fun and just talk TellTale Games, and I'm gonna lead the stream without killing it this time, so that Will and Billy can discuss some of their favorite things like The Walking Dead and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But Billy, why don't you introduce your channel real quick?
Hi, I'm Billy. I've never been on this podcast ever. But I host Tales of Initiative with a bunch of other people in a very awesome TTRPG and D&D actual play with a lot of role playing and a lot of fun. And we are all over Twitch and YouTube, and we are just really starting. Like last week was our first start, and now we have a bunch of other projects coming out, and it's been really, really fun and really cool. That's about it. It's been cool.
Yeah, that Tales Initiative is really awesome. Go subscribe to them if you haven't already. I think they hit 100, so they should have their own custom URL. Billy's on top of things.
Yes, we do. We just got there today, or well, yesterday. Heck yeah!
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
Big moment for a channel, that's for sure.
I know. I love it. I couldn't do it without all of the cool people, and you guys have been awesome too. So.
Haven't participated in a single one yet.
Oh, no, you can always join.
Chris is hurt.
It's always open.
Hey, I'm just saying, maybe he can use his face instead of a black box over a certain character. Perfect.
Well, you're my hero.
All right. Well, I'm starting to see things tonight, so Blair Witch style stuff. I'm gonna have to get off of here and let you guys talk some Walking Dead, some of that good Telltale stuff. But I just want to say before I get off here, The Wolf Among Us 2 is coming out. My favorite one of the Telltale series was Wolf Among Us 1. So I'm really looking forward to, almost 6-7 years later, actually playing the second half of that game. And I hope that the poll said the same thing. I think it did. I think if you looked at the poll on our website or our community tab, it showed the same thing I'm saying. So
Wolf Among Us was the favorite. Yep.
I will see you all later. Bill and Willie and
Bill and Willie, nice.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. All right, I'll go with it. Let's roll.
Yeah.
The ghosts are coming.
All right, see you, Chris.
Halloween episode.
Yeah.
Just hit end broadcast.
Yeah, I'll remove you. All right, that was a nice cameo from Chris.
Yeah. I appreciate the drop in. I
know. That was a great surprise. I was not expecting that, especially for the fact that he's in the woods somewhere and he still managed to show up.
We're going to miss him. If you have seen
such
Chris.
Dedication.
Yeah. Oh, hell. Oh, Telltale, man. I'm excited. Mm-hmm. I love it. I'm a big Walking Dead fan. So
would that be your favorite series then?
Yeah, I guess. Out of all of them, I'm a huge fan of Clementine. I really liked how much she developed throughout the entire series, and I mean, God, starting off at the beginning, it's The Walking Dead 1, and getting into the second one and then the third one where you don't really play as her as much, but Wolf Among Us is great. I do love it. I love everything they've done with that series, and I was really worried that they wouldn't do a Wolf Among Us 2, but man,
Well, did you play the last episode or last season of The Walking Dead?
Yeah. Oh my God, I did.
I haven't played it yet, so don't ruin it for me. I finally got a happy ending in season 3. And I'm riding that high for at least another couple months.
Oh, I am so sorry. It's just rough. The final season is I won't spoil anything, but it's a rough ride, man. I played the whole thing through. It's one of those games. I put a lot of games down when I'm playing and usually go back to them. I couldn't. I had to finish that one out, and it killed me. It was really good.
Yeah, the first season obviously is really emotional because like the main character that you're playing as, like, you end up sacrificing yourself, at least in my version. And then the second season, Kenny was the person that I saved, or I thought he died in the first season, but he followed through and it was like my carryover character. And he like sacrifices himself at the end of the game, and it's just so emotional, and I was like just tearing up the entire time. It's awful.
No, dude. Yeah. Oh my God. No, I'm the same way with like when Kenny went through like I think episode 2, like just kind of like episode 1, I didn't bond with him nearly as much, and then when you start going through like everything that he goes through and like him kind of like taking over that like parental figure spot for a little while, like, dude, my heart really went out for him. Like it killed me. Like, I know I've watched all of the endings for season 2, but like there's some of them that I'm like, man, you got to be so heartless to like let this man die at all. Like he's so vital. They just, oh my God. I don't know. Kenny is always holds a whole.
Kenny is the best, man.
He was so good. It kills me because like he kind of took over the spot of like Lee for me for a while. Like I loved Lee, and I was like I love those kind of characters that take over like the dad role. Like I love Last of Us. Last of Us is really awesome, but I really like that like father like daughter dynamic almost. And then like at the end of 1, when it just goes insane, I'm like, it just killed me. Like it was so sad. Like from just like the midway to like the end, I'm like, I don't know. Lee kills me.
Yeah, I feel like that might be the only game I've actually ever cried through.
Yeah, dude.
And it's embarrassing, but like that was a great game, very emotional.
TellTale is good at that. Like TellTale's good at putting you in the seat of like hitting those emotional marks. Like I remember, and I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I remember like playing through the final season, and I was like I sat there the entire time, just like in constant stress, just being like, I hate this. I'm like, I love this so much, but like emotionally, this is like the worst thing I've watched. I can't like, it just like really rips at your heartstrings, man. And like, I even like through Batman, through Wolf Among Us, and like all of the seasons of The Walking Dead, like they've been really good at capturing that like emotional weight of your decisions, and it kills me.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, the thing is, so like not only The Walking Dead, but I also thought that had you ever play the Game of Thrones one?
Yeah, I loved it. I really liked it.
So I can't remember exactly the decision, but you have to like you basically deal with what is that one bastard that ends up taking over Winterfell?
Oh God, I know in the Battle of the Bastards, I can't think of his name. Oh my goodness, I know his flag is insane. I just can't.
Well, it's the Flayed Man. That's where Bolton is.
Yep. I will never remember it, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
Well, anyway, so he's like the villain. At least I only played like the first couple episodes, and he ends up killing one of your family members or something. And I thought I was making like all the good decisions to appease him, to like make him not kill one of my family members, but he does it anyway.
he's such a little dick of a character, man. Like oh my God, like I didn't expect it either, because I think it's been a while since I played it, but like when I went through it, I think I did the same thing. Like I was like, okay, you gotta like just kind of take the abuse and like let it happen, and like let him like roll with the punches. And then like he killed my family member too, and I'm like, what a dick, man. Like there was so much like buildup, and like you put up with so much stuff for him to be like, God, man, Ramsay Bolton is his name.
Ramsay Bolton, there you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like it just makes the scene like in the show that much more worth it. Like watching him just get like beat down. Like, oh my God.
I really wanted Jon just to beat the crap out of him. I realized like Sansa got her moment where allowing him to get eaten by the dogs, but I don't know. I would have preferred just Jon just killing him in that moment.
Yeah, dude, just beating it. Oh my, that pummeling scene was amazing. Like it makes me feel so good. And then like the part where he's like blocking his arrows the whole time, just like making him look like a chump in front of everybody around him. I'm like, yeah, all right. I'll take that life.
And the thing is, like, I felt like as a viewer, you felt more in the moment when John was beating the crap out of him. Like you're getting your frustration as a viewer out on that character. Whereas when Sansa just lets him get eaten, it's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, man. Seriously, like I can relate to John so hard in that moment because I think everybody that was watching was like, yeah, I would beat the shit.
Exactly. That's exactly.
Just got a face to punch, man. And like, and it's even worse because the actor does such a good job. Like, not to segue, but like the actor does such a good job at being that like shitty villain. Like, you're like, dude, Game of Thrones was so like, even the Telltale series was so good at like throwing characters in that were just like, God, I want to punch you, man. Like, oh, yes. Why do you talk? What? Well, let me ask you this: what is your favorite Telltale game? Because I totally skipped over it.
Yeah, I'd probably do The Walking Dead too. I mean, I was so emotionally invested in those characters, and the funny thing is, I don't really like the show. So, and I'm not a huge zombie game fan, so it's actually kind of surprising that I liked it so much. But it's such a human story, and like you really feel that you're leading that first game. And you like get really attached to Clementine, and you really want to protect Clementine. And then like at the very end, at least for me, like one of my decisions was I stole the car full of goods. And at the end, like it comes back to bite me because the father that I ended up killing his entire family essentially is the one that's been harassing me and ends up killing me in the end essentially. And it's just like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this came back in this way. So it just blew my mind.
Oh, they are so good at that. They're so good at like those looping moments of like things you don't, and especially when you like connect the games and you go like if you make like a really raw decision in like the first game and then like or like season 3, like you just run into like one of the survivors you betrayed and like it. Oh my God, man. I can't believe that though. I remember that exact scenario and that exact scene where like you get the chance to like get all the goods out of the car and like, oh God.
Well, I was like, I remember Claire, my wife, was sitting next to me basically the entire game. And when we got to that moment, I was like, it's left. They clearly got eaten. They're gone. All this food's here. I got to protect my people, right? And like I even like hem and hawed for a minute, like it was a real life. I was like, no, I got to take it. This is mine now. And and then again, they have it all come back and bite me in the end. Oh man. And you feel for the guy because I ended up killing his entire family because of that decision. Oh, yeah.
Well, dude, like it's rough too because like in Lee's like in the defense of like playing as Lee, like you literally are taking care of like a child and like half of your team is like almost incapacitated like until you get to the farm and they take out the old man and like everybody kind of starts like getting picked off slowly at that point. Like you really have like a team of only a couple people that can really do stuff. So like that decision weighed hard because it's so much harder for you to be able to go out and gather because you're losing all of your capable people like right off the bat. Like just in realism of like what's going on in the story. I holy hell, like I would have made the same decision. It's so heavy though.
In the third episode, when you don't really get to play as Clementine, what was your decision as far as like the love interest?
Oh, I did. So okay, are we talking where you can like slowly like make your move on?
Yep.
Your
sister-in-law.
The husband was a dick, man. Like I was so like I didn't care, and then like the moment came where like you finally run back into him later, and like he was such a bastard. Like the whole like he was such a bad parent to it. He wasn't strict. He was like abusive, and like the rest of the way you go through, he's like even when you go back to the big like compound that they're in, the big city, and like he's kind of running things, like you slowly kind of like you're like even when they find him and they're like, oh my God, like he's back alive, he's still a dick. Like he's still like he's a little bit better and like he kind of manages it because now he's got like a big community he's got to watch out for, but like he wasn't a good guy. And like God, I just wanted to be like, look, man, like just pretend you didn't see any of us and we'll leave. Like, but oh man, like he got real punchable during the end. Like what about you? What did you do with it?
I definitely fell in love with the sister-in-law or whatever. Well, I feel like it was almost impossible because every time she had like a vulnerable moment, that was a time like you would want to comfort her, and if you comforted her, then like the two characters came together, so it was like almost unavoidable.
Yeah, it's like, well, that was the thing too. Is like she, in my eyes, like she deserved like a good like, because she wasn't a bad person. Like she like she had like a couple character moments that were weird, but like
Yep.
I thought they deserved like hanging out. Like I was like, man, they deserve to be together. Oh, that was so crap though, because like I actually didn't expect them to bring that. Like I'm usually kind of okay at calling some of this stuff out, but I did not expect them to pull that after you're developing fucking all this like the momentum and oh, it was such a slap.
It really was, and yeah, like but the weird character moments. There's a couple times in the TellTale games where you think you're selecting like an action and ends up being completely opposite of what you think it's going to be. And I kind of wish that there was a redo, but also at the same time, it ruins the story, you know, because then you know what's going to happen. So you want to go back and change it. But sometimes it's like, you know, you say like, hey, what's up? And you select that, but it's like, hey, what's up?
That's just Mass Effect in a whole nutshell, dude. It's like shake his hand, shake his face with your hand. It's like, oh, okay, bah! Like, what the hell? Oh my God. I get nervous of that though. Like when I was playing through the final season, like I got so bad because I kept not trying to spoil stuff, but I'm like, I don't want my team to die. Like I don't want anyone to get killed and it'll be my fault. So like there was like 3 times where I'm like, all right, I just want to see like what the other outcomes would be first. And like I hated it because like all Telltale games are good at that. Like they make you feel because like they built in a system to just make you feel like such a jerk after you pick the wrong things. Like they're like, oh yeah, wow, you took one weapon off this wall, like a whole family was massacred all because you didn't do that. And you're like, oh okay, I'm sorry, like I don't need to.
Or like you accidentally kill someone. Like I shot someone in the train station in that 3rd game that was like threatening to kill Clementine, and that was just everyone was so upset with that decision. No one liked it.
Dude, it's also that is the fun. Like I remember that scene, and that also kills me because like really, like in my brain, like that makes sense. Like if somebody's like, about to kill Clementine, it's like, yeah, like you shoot him.
Yeah.
And they're like, do you know what you morally did? And it's like yeah, I shot the guy. He's dead.
Exactly.
He's not gonna cause any more problems. Oh my God.
But another one I really liked is the Batman. I saw that Zane Helios brought that up. The Batman Telltale games are pretty good. I've only played the first season, but you actually feel much more like a detective in that game. So you like examine a crime scene and you have to like find all the components and put things together. So it's a lot less. Obviously, it's less actiony than the like Arkham games because it's not built the same. But it's really cool. It's like a different perspective of Batman.
Yeah, no, I liked it. I liked the kind of take they went with it. Did you play the first one or did you play both?
Just the first one.
I didn't play the second one either, but I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I really one of the things I really liked from the Arkham series was kind of being I liked the fighting. The fighting was really good, but I really liked the detective moments. So like encompassing that in a Telltale style game, I thought was it was nice because it showed off that like Batman's not just like the karate champion of Gotham. Like he's just he's like a really intelligent and smart like detective and and literally his title is like the world's greatest detective.
Yeah,
so you never get to see that. So I liked it. I think for a DC property, like I was really impressed with how well they went with it. Choices were wild in that too. Like there was a couple like really big things that I didn't expect to like shake things up at the end. Yeah,
that was good. Have you played Wolf Among Us? Because I guess most of the CHRILLCAST audience, that's their favorite game.
The Wolf, is that an indie game? Is that like a game?
No, Wolf Among Us is okay. All right, sorry. Obviously, I know you would know that. I don't know why I started to be like, wait a minute, you don't know what this is? I'm such an idiot.
No, it's okay. I've like it's been a while since I played Wolf Among Us, but I really like. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I really was actually sad when Telltale shut down the first time because like. I knew the final season of The Walking Dead was one of the big things I was upset about because they were halfway through it when they shut down. But Another thing that I was kind of sad about was like they set up such a great premise in Wolf Among Us, and like, have you played it like at all?
I know that's not true. So I played like the first couple episodes free from Games with Gold.
Heck yeah. Okay. It's like I like the kind of like detective beat cop meets like fairy tale aspect they kind of put to it. I really enjoyed. I really like what they did to the story. Like it was a really good noir kind of like feel. There's not a lot of games that can do that really well. Like the last one that I actually speaking of Telltale was Sam and Max, and that was forever ago. And like with this, it was really cool because like I really like the roles they put in with some of the characters. Like oh my god, I can't think of name, but God, it's been a hot second. But I really like that they kind of like really featured out some of the fairy tale like problems that you would see that you wouldn't expect, but like I don't know the wording I'm trying to say for this. It was interesting because they really fleshed out a lot of things you wouldn't think about with this kind of like fairy tale setting. And by the end, like figuring out who the villain was and who was actually like murdering people was really interesting because I for a mystery, usually I'm pretty like I feel I'm pretty keen to like who done it, and like by the end I was like, holy shit, like they really took a spin on who I thought actually pulled off the murders.
What's that teddy bear cop in your game in your Telltale series?
HR? Oh man, I told you it's my whodunit mystery, man.
Yeah, HR who done it. Clearly,
but in perfect.
What's the rest of his name? It's like Tough and Stuff.
Yeah, HR Tough and Stuff. Dude, he's there for when things get rough, man. He's there. Oh, I love those like whodunit, like ridiculous, like that's partly inspiration, man. Like I've enjoyed those like oh, I don't know, wordage. I can't say something.
Yeah. All right, so Telltale Games. Obviously, the stories are always really good. Like Telltale Games has a really good ability to absorb you into the characters and really immerse you in what's going on, setting the plot. But they are also known for their really wonky ass physics.
Yeah.
So, do you think that like the way that they had to build those games off of that really strange Telltale engine actually like helped the games? Like, you know, hurt the games right out the gate, or do you think it just kind of fatigued over time, but it was a good idea at first?
I think like I didn't mind the way they were put together. I think the things that like I didn't like is when they started like adding more like quick time action and when you started having to like shoot things and like actually like kind of do action in the game. Like the action was so like bogged down. It felt slow and like and the thing is like a lot of the times, at least for me, like when it would transition from like a cutscene to like an action scene, it was so slow that sometimes like it would like hiccup and you would like miss the quick time event. Like it would start, you wouldn't notice it. And the thing to me is like I'm for one, I'm not really a huge fan of quick time events, but but I understand them. Like, and I understand for Telltale, like it's hard to like make it all choice based if you're trying to fight off different things. But like, I don't know. I really think like I love the look of the engine. I really like that kind of like comic book-esque like design. But like, I probably would have been a lot happier if they would have went with like I don't want to say like Unreal Engine because that's probably ridiculous, but like something that at least like gave them more flow because like they felt really staticky. Like it was rough.
I think it'd be cool. It would have been much better if, you know, the static thing what you're talking about, how, you know, there's only so much depth to the field and you get stuck on things you couldn't see around them and it was hard to actually select what you wanted. But also it would have been cool, like every time you selected something, it would like fade to black really quick and then fade back into what you're looking at or whatever you're bringing up. And I think it would have been cooler if there's like an easier transition through that. Like even if you kept with the comic book theme, like if you're going inside of a train car, just have it like a comic book page like open up and you're inside the train car. Like obviously that was something that's not possible in that engine, but that'd been really cool. Or really just a better transition in general.
No, dude, I agree with that completely. What about you? Like, did you feel like it hindered or helped it? Like, what do you think?
It helped it. I think, in my opinion. The quick time events sucked. I'd rather just have not have any, like even in the Walking Dead, like I know the whole point is you're killing zombies, but I would have rather just had a decision point where it's like, you shoot the zombies or run away or something. And other than that, though, I think it was really good because you felt really close to the ambient music was really what was like driving the plot forward, really. So like you had lots of quiet times, lots of times where you're just like slowly exploring things.
Yeah.
Because you have to walk so slowly. But it also builds up tension because you don't know where you're going to hit. And also you kind of like, again, you get absorbed in that music. You get absorbed in the characters just chilling out in the background. Yeah. And I don't know. I like the slower nature of it because instead of wondering like, what am I going to shoot next? I was thinking about, the decision I just made and how much it actually impacted my life, like in real life, not just the story. So yeah.
No, I agree with you. Because it's interesting you bring that up because like my problem with like I'm not going to be like my problem with all games, but my problem with like gaming in general a lot is like some games don't let you like take the moment to absorb the scene and like they just push you, and that's fine. Like there's games that do that really well, and that's cool. Like I love like I love my looter shooters, and I love stuff that like give you that moment. But like some games don't give you long enough to absorb everything. Yep. And like TellTale is really good at like yes, you will be sitting there. It's probably not always the funnest thing to watch because like it's like just an hour of like going around the farm and seeing where Duck went or like figuring out if he got stuck in an engine or not. But like but it's so like that build up like builds really well, and like it gives you minutes to like talk, like hear other people and like be like, oh, like this person has a qualm with like another person on the farm, and then later like they start like going off that and like start arguing, and you're like, holy shit, like these guys are it just lets you build, it lets you like define what the world around you is like instead of just pushing you through a narrative. And I like that a lot.
I like that too. And to your point, a lot of games don't give you that opportunity just to like hang out for a minute. Something that one of the reasons why I really love like the original Halo is there's a lot of times where there's no enemies and it's just there's snow falling and that's it. So you can just like walk around after you clear like the area out. Nothing else spawns, and you kind of just walk around and take in the sights and take in the environment. And so many games just kind of forget to do that nowadays. Like just have like constantly generating enemies, or once you clear out like a room, it transitions you into the next stage, so you don't get a moment to stop and think. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I could not agree more with you. Like it again, like when you don't take the time to like just build, like, and again, I guess it's a little different for some people, but at least in my opinion, like if you don't take the time to like kind of let the scenery sink in, like, and especially with like older Halos and stuff that take that slower pace, like it you just feel like you're rushing through, and then all of the work that like everybody did to make that level stand out is like it's gone. Like I mean, I don't want to say it's gone, but it's like it's harder to appreciate because you only spend like 5 minutes in there because you're running through the level at full speed.
And also another thing is like games do it where if you're not progressing fast enough, like one of the other characters will keep talking to you. Like you're supposed to get to this point. You're supposed to keep doing this. Like move on to the next checkpoint. It's like, shut up. I know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to take the moment. And it's like, like the newer Halos do that just to stay in like the Halo theme where if you don't progress fast enough, like Buck or whatever will get on your comm and tell you like, hey, look, you're not going fast enough. It's like
you're like, dude, I know. It's like I am a Marine, man. I understand. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Well, it's like think about how often, or like back in the old Halo games, I would take hours trying to break the levels, just jump out of them, or like drive off into the lake and see what would happen. I don't do that with any of those games anymore.
No, and that's the thing is like, and they used to incentivize that. They used to like the skulls and everything, like going and finding skulls outside of the map and stuff, and like. I appreciated that because that it's a really easy way to pad out your game in a way that like makes people enjoy what you're doing without like forcing them to like it takes a like, and for example, like you take a medium-sized level and like if you're running through and you're trying to finish the narrative, you get like 5 minutes out of it. But like if nobody's telling you like go, like you're like, holy shit, I wonder if there's like something really cool over on the top of that tree that I'll rocket jump up for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, or look at that really cool can of soda that's in the corner.
I want that.
Like, look at that detail on this.
let me ask you something, because I'm curious, and I think somebody said it, or Hay said something very similar in the comments. But what if you had what franchise would you like to see? I'm so sorry, I'm going to slaughter your question because I want to see what Will's response to this. But what franchise would you like to see Telltale do? Because they used to, before they conglomerated, they used to just grab every franchise they could, and I don't miss it. But I'm just curious what you would say.
Honestly, I'm sure there's better ones. What I'm about to say, but immediately what I'm thinking about is, did you ever play Ultimate Spider-Man in the original Xbox?
Dude, yes, it's one of my favorite Spider-Mans.
It's already even in the same art style.
Yes,
I would just translate that right to Telltale, and that would be perfect.
Oh my god, dude! I've never thought of a better dude. My answer is garbage. That's awesome. I've never thought of that game was so underrated for them to everybody claims I know the new Spider-Man. I love the new Spider-Man, I really do. But Ultimate Spider-Man did not get the attention it deserved. No. That game was so well done for a Spider-Man game.
It really was.
Oh,
well, it's a beautiful art style, and you get to play as Venom, which is so cool.
Yeah, dude, and it was ripped it looked like it was ripped right out of the comics. I love that. I love and it was a costume collector too. You could literally get 10 million costumes in that game, and and also Venom was so cool how he goes around and goes hunger, and you just eat people. It's how could you get better than that? Dude, no, absolutely, man. It sits in my head because I've probably played it 300 times, but I still remember the first scene where you jump down and have to fight Venom in the schoolyard parking lots, and I can visualize that fight in my head every single time I talk about Ultimate Spider-Man. It's so good.
And honestly, that story would work out for a Telltale game too, just because it's your best friend and you end up creating carnage out of your own blood. So that could be part of the story narrative, depending on what path you choose. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing too, is I think I never got the chance to play the Guardians of the Galaxy Telltale, but they've already proved that they could do a really good job with superheroes. Batman was awesome.
Yep.
I think they most likely are. I don't know what they're still doing with the license, but I know people really liked it, and I haven't heard anything bad about the Guardians game, so I assume it's pretty all right.
No, Chris liked it. He actually gave it to me, so I will eventually be getting to that. Chris also really likes the Will's lumberjack beard. Thanks, man.
Real OG. I like that.
Yeah. What is it now? What is the it's a looter shooter. I'm blanking on the name. It's also cell shaded.
Borderlands?
The Borderlands one. Yeah. So Chris really likes that one. He thought that was one of the best Telltale games for sure.
Tales of the Borderlands was really good. It's weird because I like Borderlands, and I have a really big nostalgia, just energy for the second one, because I've played it with my friends 10 billion times. But Telltale, I didn't expect to almost make that one of my favorite Borderlands games. I really enjoyed the entire cast they had for it. I really liked that they incorporated them into the third game when they started moving forward. And God, it was just so good. It really was. Tales of the Borderlands deserves
Tales of the Borderlands. That's what it was. Yep. Well, that's another that would be a franchise you wouldn't expect to actually translate well to this kind of gameplay, and it did. So
no, not at all. It was funny because when they first announced it, I thought the same thing. I was like, that's weird. I'm I don't really see I see the value, but I don't know. A story in Borderlands.
Literally every time a Telltale game came out, I was like, that looks stupid. And then I'd play it. It's oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Dude, I think the only one I didn't do that for was The Walking Dead. And then I liked it, but I thought that for every other game that came out. They just look so boxy. I'm I hate this. And then I start playing it and all right, but the story's pretty deep. I'll
even the Telltale games, I was or the Telltale one, obviously we're talking about Telltale, the Walking Dead one. I was thinking that also looks stupid. I want an action game. I want to be able to shoot the zombies down. And the only reason why I started that game was because I got it free with Games with Gold. And I was oh, fine. Nothing else I don't have anything else to play. I don't want to buy anything. So I probably, loaded it up, and then I played it all the way through. I bought every single game. I bought all of DLC. And then I rebought it all with the Ultimate Edition or whatever came with the last season.
Oh, dude, it's worth. There's not many. Oh, somebody dropped something that I'm going to bring up after because
I see it too.
But I think in my eyes, they did the whole collection, and they, with the entire Walking Dead. I think it's worth it. I really like the whole story is like one that like realistically you should play from like beginning to end. I mean the third one was a little out there, and not in a bad way. I really like the third one, but like it doesn't, because they picked a different main character for it, so it flows a little differently. That it still gives you a lot of dialogue for like everything that has happened to your characters since, but like you go from like a pretty told story to like kind of being a background character in the third one, and then like coming back to be like the main in the fourth one. But like, man, like from beginning to end for that game, I really think that they knocked that series out of the park. The story was just so well done, and like I kept getting worried that every time a new episode would come out, like it would just not hit. But there was only a few of them that I was like, nah, this is all right. But most of them, like I would get amped when I hit like episode 4 and episode 5, and I'm like, what decisions did I make?
I know. Yeah. Oh man, it was so exciting, and especially because they started tying in decisions from previous seasons too, and that just it blew my mind every time they were able to weave one of those in. Did you ever play the DLC?
400 Days.
Yeah.
Yes, I played. I didn't play. I don't think I played the whole thing. No, I did play the whole thing. Yeah, I did.
And well, it's like they have the missing board, and you can like choose like different little mini stories, and they actually tie in. So if you like, there's one where it's like a truck stop or something, and you actually meet some of those characters later.
I see. Okay, yeah, that's what it was, because I knew the missing board. I played through, and I know they pick like different day, like it's within the 400 days, and like every character goes missing, like it's like in increments of like 30, 60, but I really enjoyed it. Like the gas station one, they start, or that you like, it's the gas station throughout a lot of it. But like, I like, I don't know, like it's interesting to watch it like happen over time, and like them kind of like, God, I'm trying to remember it. I really, it's been a hot second since I played 400 Days. I didn't
like it as much, simply because you only get to play for like 30 minutes or whatever with each character, so there's not enough time to really get connected. But it is really cool how it does tie into the main story in like little small ways.
Yeah, I agree completely.
Did you ever play the like Michonne?
I haven't, but I was really curious. I didn't know if they went like full Walking Dead with it, or like comic book Walking Dead.
I own it. I have not played it, but I'm hesitant because I love the actress that plays on the show. Yeah. I'm worried that like the game representation is gonna suck.
See, I was the same way. Like I got worried that when I seen it, because my thing was like the Walking Dead show was like big at the time. And I was worried that they were gonna like, because they were following the comic book with the games, like with TellTale, and I was worried that they were gonna like kind of ham fist like the show into it with that. Like not that I don't like the show, it's all right, but like I was so worried that they would like kind of ham fist that narrative in it. Oh, thank you for staring at me. But I don't know, like I haven't played it either, and I've always been like worried, because that, again, like I was worried that they would like try to popularize on how good the show was doing at the time, and like really like jam all those elements in, but I didn't think they needed to be in for the comics. I don't know. That's just me though. Like I think I definitely want to go through and try it, but I was so wrapped up in the story that they were telling already that I was like, nah, I'll go back to it someday.
Yeah. So I don't think you ever said what game you would pick or what IP you would pick.
Oh, that's okay. Man, what did I have? I initially, and like this is kind of garbage because like they already kind of do it, but like I really would love to see like all right, bear with me on this, and I know this is gonna be kind of a hot take, but like I hate Mass Effect Andromeda, really bad game, not good. I love Mass Effect in general. I really wish that they would have kind of like took Mass Effect Andromeda and made it like a TellTale series, because like I know it's like a weird thing to say, but like I hated like the openness and the length of Mass Effect Andromeda, and I would have loved if they would have took like the Mass Effect elements and put it in like TellTale stylings. I think it's a weird mashup, but I really think it could have benefited. Like,
yeah, that would be honestly that honestly it makes a lot of sense. That would be an amazing IP for that.
Oh man,
More so than Spider-Man, but I still want Spider-Man.
Dude, yeah. Listen. Well, that's what when you said that, I was like, I hate my answer. I'm like, I don't want Andromeda. I want Spider-Man. Ultimate Spider-Man would be dope.
So actually, I have another idea. So Lost would be a really cool.
Ooh, yeah, I would like that a lot
because there's so much mystery there. You could have basically an entire playground of where that story could go.
Yeah, man. You know what? Like, God, that would be so much fun. I forget about that series sometimes, but God, that would be so cool to actually like. And they could answer a lot of like. I know they were trying to leave a lot of questions unanswered by the end of it, but they could really tie up some loose ends. Like
they could
going through with it.
Yeah. Or not at all. Just confuse us more.
Make it 100 times worse. Yeah. The other one I wanted to bring up too, because somebody who mentioned it, I think it was Big Game Hunter mentioned it.
Yes, I will go back up to this comment. This one, I know what you're talking about. Back
to the Future. I've never played it, but I've watched it. I liked it. I don't necessarily think it was like one of their best games they kind of did for it, but I really enjoyed that they like put Back to the Future in that format. Like I thought it was something that like I don't necessarily agree with everyone that like kind of like is like we should do more Back to the Future. I'm like, all right, leave it, like keep it in its little bubble that it's in. But like it was really fun to like see them kind of like further the universe. Like I like when they do that, but I get very hesitant because then people are like, let's do reboots. And I'm like, don't reboot, please. Just leave it. Yep. It's good. Oh, man.
What, do you ever play the Jurassic Park one?
No, and I've wanted to, and I've seen it everywhere, but I've just never like...
Yeah, I see it at GameStop all the time. But the thing is, again, I fall in that trap. Every time I see a TellTale game that's like, it's Jurassic Park, it should be action-y. I'm like, that's going to be stupid. That's going to be a terrible translation into this format. And then I love them all. So I don't know why I keep falling into that trap. That's probably why they went out of business the first time. It's like, people like me, like completely unloyal.
They see 5 cutscenes and they're like, is this a game or is this a movie? That was the other argument, like working where I used to work. That was the other argument I'd always hear from people. And like you bring it up really well is people would like return it or like bring it back and be like, this isn't a game, like this is a movie. And I'm like, yeah, kind of.
How do you define a game?
Exactly. Like it's an experience you put yourself into. Like I don't, but I get it. But at the same time, like I was somebody that like sometimes was like, man, I don't want to like, I just want to chill sometimes. And like, and I'll get emotionally devastated, but like, I don't want to like always be like beating on a controller. So I'm cool with just hitting some buttons here.
Exactly. I want to have a chill experience sometimes. Like the exact opposite of that is Cuphead. That game is so freaking frustrating. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that game is like so dead on with just like, me and my wife played it and my wife, yes! Oh my God. I will go get the coat right now. I have it in my closet. Oh, I love it. Big game, you make my day, man. God, I love what was I saying? I love that like style though. Like I really like those kind of I can't think of the name of like Dark Souls-esque like hard games. But I only like them until like I start really getting grinded into the ground, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm done for like 6 years.
Yep. Well, that's basically me on the very first boss battle. It took me a good like hour and a half to figure out how to beat the first one, which is like a frog or something. It's the very first one you come across.
Yeah.
And I realized I was on the difficulty level that you can't actually rank up in. It's like the easy. And because there's 2 different difficulty levels, one that actually allows you to progress and the other one that's just easy. It's like a practice round or something. And I just like, oh my gosh, I spent all this time and now I can't even progress.
I didn't know that. That's wild to me. Like I can't.
I might be misunderstanding it, but there was 2 different levels, and one like I didn't get like the stars or whatever, like the way that you're supposed to progress to the next one.
Yeah. Well, it's wild because like it's been a while since we played that game because I know like my wife, we played it together, and like my wife, when I'm gonna call her out completely, but like when she plays games, like if it gets too tough or like too competitive, it's over.
Oh
done.
yeah,
like she'll never play it again. And like that, I remember that game. We got to like I think it was the poker, like the one where they're shooting coins out at you, like the big poker machine with the arm. And like we could not we did everything in our power, but we could not beat that level. And like at the end of it, I just remember her being like, "Yeah, this is a game I'm never gonna play again." And I'm like, "Nah," I'm like, it's all right. Like I know it's try 43, but like
I wouldn't even been able to get past the tutorial section with my wife in that kind of a game. She likes like RPGs, so like something like that where she can play Kingdoms of Amalur or Fable or something.
Ooh, good call. Kingdoms of Amalur, man. I'm so not to segue, but like that's a good call. That game, I'm so happy they're like reinitializing everything.
Yep, I bought it for 2 different systems because that's that kind of person I am.
Me too, dude. Me too. I'm behind that wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, man. No, that's kind of my wife is very similar as well. She'll play like Dragon Age Origins and like all those games and Flip Cup it's a wild game, man.
Flip Cup. I haven't thought about that in a long time.
Dude, yeah. Oh my God. This is years at this point.
Oh, well, speaking of Kingdoms of Amalur and GameStop, so I actually found, that game just because I was perusing a GameStop store one day, and I was like, oh, I never even heard of this RPG before, and it looks cool. I looked up like a gameplay video of it, which, by the way, if you want to modernize the game store, you should be able to like select the game that you see, and just like have a screen pop up and show you like a little bit of gameplay right then.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, I can't speak for them anymore, but I will say that like I know like that was their thing forever. Like they always promised that. They were like, one day we're gonna have like screens in there and like you can like slide and select it, and then like never. They were just like, yeah, we're gonna put the boxes back on the wall, y'all. And we're like, okay, like this didn't really work out the first time, but okay. My worst part with that is like when you find, not to like go into it, but like when you find a game and then you find out there's no copies left and you're like, this is really cool. I've been looking into it for like the last hour, and they're like, yeah, we just got the box on the shelf. You're like, cool.
Yeah. So, but the reason why I bring this up is that I realize, at least at the local GameStop by me, basically has purged their 360 games and all of their older games. So the only one, they have about 6 360 games. They have 2 Wii games and I think 4 Wii U games, which is funny that they have more Wii U games. But it's just like, man, that sucks. All those games are gone.
Well, it's crazy to me too, because like when I it's been like a year or 2 now since I've worked there, but like I miss like that was one of the sections I really liked, because like I felt like, I don't want to like get nostalgic, but like 360 and like Wii and like those were the times where they just tried anything, and like you would get some really cool off the wall 360 games that like you would have no idea is like an amazing game, and you'd take it home and be like Kingdoms of Amalur and God, I mean, I think I found out about Dragon Age that way. Like I played Origins once and I was like, this game is an amazing RPG.
That's how I found it too. It's like that kind of discovery is lost now.
Yeah, I hate that. That's the thing that like I miss about games. I miss like, and again, not to segue, but God, I miss like that moment where like you would just walk into a game store and like you'd have no reviews, you wouldn't hear a single thing about it, and you'd pick up a game and you'd be like, this looks really cool, and you take it home and you're like, I'm gonna buy every piece of merch they own. Like this is the coolest thing.
Or it's terrible. You ever play the game Run Like Hell?
No, I know what you're talking about though. I haven't played it, but I'm so sorry, dude.
It was like in between Halo 2 and Halo 3, and I was waiting for that game to come out. I don't think Fable 2 had come out either, so I was just like, oh man, I need something. Please, Mom, let me rent something from the video game store. And it was a Blockbuster still then, so that's how long ago this was. And we went and got that game was there. It's like, oh, there's monsters in it. Looks like it's in space. It's gonna be just like Halo. And literally, the game's you're just running like hell. You're like the character's running towards you, and there's a monster behind them. It's like, this is terrible.
Dude, that would get like, I would be so. It's not. I hate like. I imagine the kind of game, because I've never played it, but I know, like, I've seen it so many times when we've had to test stuff, and like, God, cover art's really deceiving sometimes. Like, you really think you're getting something amazing, and you get home, and it's like, they hired the cover art guy, and like, they didn't hire anybody else for this. This is all made in the garage.
All right. So going back to what we're actually supposed to be talking about. How do you feel about games being released in chapters? I know it's largely used in TellTale, but some games have used it recently. Deltarune. I actually don't know that game. Or Deltarune.
Oh, Deltarune.
Deltarune. Okay.
Undertale's weird, like Like it's Undertale, but not under. Okay, there's gonna be fans that are gonna freak out because this is like a real hard fan base. It's Undertale, but it's not Undertale, but like it's all the same characters, and it's an anagram of Undertale. So it's Undertale. It's
Undertale.
It's another it's a different Undertale. But like what do you think first? Because I'm very opinionated about this, and I want to see what you think.
I think it only made sense really for The Walking Dead, and I think it only made sense really because I take it back. I think Batman made sense too, but for The Walking Dead, it made sense because you're sort of following the TV story. And not at all, but the idea is like you're sort of like playing out your own TV episodes, and I thought that made a lot of sense. Batman's sort of the same idea because like you've seen the cartoons, and like in my head it makes sense that they could translate like that loosely. But for some of the other ones, it's like I'd rather just have the whole game at once. Maybe have it broken up in chapters so you still get like that impact of like, okay, this chapter is done, but you still like, so there's like a time jump maybe, but your choices will carry over. And I think they needed that as a plot device to have chapters. But as far as episodes, it was frustrating waiting for them.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think Hitman did it too, didn't they? Didn't they release an episode?
They were. It was a little weird with that. Like, I know I didn't play it, but I know a lot of people that did, and I know like you had. Yeah, it was pretty much the same thing, but like levels, like you could I don't know. I know about it, but I haven't played Hitman's newest stuff to know like. Listen, man.
This is a clean podcast.
Oh, okay, here we go, man. I hate chapters. I hate it so much.
Okay.
And like here's why though, is okay. I thought it was a really good idea when they first started. I was like, wow, that's wild. Like I liked it a lot. But being on like the physical retailer side, like part of the problem that I had, and like this, and this goes over to like just normal too, is like for one, if you bought the physical copy, a lot of the times it would unlock, it would basically renew the game, like the season pass on your account. So like once they took that content off there, you only had access to the first chapter if you ever got a physical copy of that game or most of the games. So that was one of the problems I had. But the other problem is like TellTale did it like demonstrated it really well, is like when they shut down at the end of like the second chapter of the final season of The Walking Dead, and they were like, yeah, we don't know if we're going to do the rest of the game. And I'm like, don't do that to me. I hate dead sequels. Like you can't, like I get nervous that that's going to happen to other games when they go through that, like, because like, it's so unpredictable, the life of like a gaming company or like a publisher or like a developer. And it sucks because like you will get so involved. Like Wolf Among Us, I know there were so many fans that really liked it, and if TellTale didn't come back, like everybody would just be dead and stuck in the wind, like trying to see if they could make fan fiction out of what they already liked. I like it in the idea of like it builds that like momentum of like I'm gonna keep playing chapters, but like at the same time you just like fall apart if it starts falling apart. And I get TellTale already did it once. I'm afraid like that might happen again at some point.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I can see from like the retail standpoint, because how many people bought the disc thinking they had the whole game, only to be like, "Where's the rest of it, Billy? It's GameStop's fault."
You suck, Billy. It got funny because like and not to call out GameStop, you're great, you're doing great things, but like near the end of like when they started like pulling the game like the season passes from the game, and they were like, all right, like physical copies only have chapter 1 in them now. It wouldn't say it anywhere except in tiny letters on the sticker. It would go like, it would be like Minecraft, like all seasons, and then like in tiny letters, it's like only contains episode 1 for $5. And you're like, all right, I can't wait to get slugged for this. Like this is awesome. Oh, it's terrifying. It is horrifying. Oh, hello.
Special guest.
As a guest star. Hello. Oh, he gets it too, man. He understands. Cade gets it. Oh.
What kind of breed is that?
It is a mini Aussie. It is my good little boy Cade, named after Destiny.
Oh yeah, cool. All right. Don't let him play the Forsaken or whatever.
He cries all the time, man. It's
no. What is it? Is it Forsaken? What is that one where Cade dies?
I think it is Forsaken. I think it's I think it is. I could be dead wrong, but I'm like 20% sure.
Telltale Dog Edition.
I'll make a game with Cade.
Yes, amazing.
Oh,
Destiny could be a cool one to do Telltale with. Destiny
would be really good. I think it's one of those games that like they do a lot of focus on action, but like their story is pretty solid and pretty like they work really hard on it, man. I think you could get some good stuff out of it. Yeah.
I mean, Destiny 2 is too daunting for me now because like every time I join in, it's like a new DLC, and I'm like, I don't know where I am. I didn't even beat the main campaign yet. I have no idea what's happening.
Dude, yeah, like they add. Well, that's the thing too, is you can't even play the main campaign.
I know that's oh gosh, it's so frustrating to me.
Because I agree with you completely, because I thought about that a couple times, and I'm like, it's kind of weird to like, unless you're like a player that's played forever. Like, they kind of MMO'd it where they were like, you've played the beginning already. Like, if you've played Destiny, you've played. We're just going to move on from that. It's a lot of content. But I like... I enjoy Destiny's, I'm glad they keep evolving. Like, I'm glad they keep, putting more story into it. It shows it's not dead, which is...
It's one of those things, it's very popular, and I really love the gameplay, and I love the world, so I want to play it. But, again, every time I boot it up, it's another planet. It's another storyline. I have no idea what's going on, and I missed out on everything else. So I just feel, I don't know, sad.
Yeah, it's so you're dead right. It's so tough because you don't develop a love for it after like they've changed everything you remember about it, and then you go to talk to even your leader of your if you're a hunter, you're like, man, I want to go talk to Cade and see how that's going, and then there's no Cade there, and it's so different, and it's tough to jump back into a game like that after 2 years or something.
Yep. And that's the thing is that's how I play games though, which is why I know maybe I'm just old, but I like going back to the old games because I have the whole disc, I have the whole game, I can pick up where I left off whenever I want.
You keep that mindset because I do that. I will play. I'm still Divinity Original Sin 2 is one of the games that really sparked a lot of enjoyment back into the game world for me. And that I still have never beat that game, and I've had it on 5 consoles. And but I'll pick it up, I'll put it down for months, and I'll come back and I'll be I'll go right back into this full speed. I love this game.
So I was thinking about pulling a game off of a shelf in GameStop and being able to see the trailer for it or something. You literally just put a QR code where the price tag is and just have it scan it. It's so simple.
All of these things would I bet I'm 99% sure there's one GameStop employee that is just sitting there they can't do that. Fuck you. But man, you could put a screen up, you could put QR codes up. The thing that really got me, and I don't know if this is public knowledge, so I got to be very careful. Okay. But I know at one point I think it is. At one point they were only doing to where or they were only putting their top 50 games out on display and nothing else, and that bothered me because I was well, dude, there's been so many indie games that I've been I'll find and I'm this looks weird, and I'll pick it up and I'll take it home and I'm this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And with that top 50 mindset, I'm bro, I don't want Call of Duty 9 through 12. I just want friggin' Divinity Original Sin or name other indie game here. Oh no, man. And gaming series is really the gaming scene has changed. I'm still I'm a physical man all day, but
yeah, you are, Billy. We all know that.
Yeah. Oh God, it's I don't know. I really, yeah. I know we are segueing so hard from Telltale, but I am so big on being able to just visualize your collection. I'm never one to just look at a digital library and be that's cool. I'm no, I
like seeing the cases. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say I know this again has nothing to do with Telltale, but the losing the manuals. I miss having manuals in all the game cases. It's so sad. And they just have the inserts like, beware of seizures, and that's basically it. Like,
yeah,
okay,
dude.
thanks.
Yeah, you were dead right. That's why I love. That's why I love limited run games, because they like a lot of the times when you buy a game from them, like because they make it and they take like all the extra time to put stuff into it, like they usually include like a manual, and like nobody does that anymore, and it kills me because I love being able to open a game and be like, even if it's like a dumb tiny little pamphlet, I'm like, cool, dude, I love this, like please do this.
Yeah, agreed. So when is when the Wolf Among Us 2 is coming out?
Boy, oh boy, I thought they launched a release date, but I don't.
I'll tell you in a second. I can just ask Google. Google knows everything.
Yes. I like it.
Of course, it doesn't just show up. It would be nice if usually it just tells you the answer nowadays. You don't even have to click the link.
That's literally, I Googled it too, and that was literally what I thought about.
I'm disgusted. It's like, how dare you make me do work, Google?
How dare you, Google? I don't know if it has a release date yet, but
yeah, it just says coming to PC and consoles. I don't think it has a.
See, I'm not saying that's terrifying, but that's oh god, Telltale scares me when they say this is coming.
They're gonna do a Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, I seen that on there too, and I was like, all right, I could get behind it. It kind of gives me like a Sam and Max feel. Like God, it's been forever since. Oh, I will give Telltale one thing. I really like that they dialed back on doing different IPs. I know I watched an interview about Telltale, and I won't go super deep into it because I don't know everything, and I can't be like, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. But I know they had so many teams focused on so many different projects because they just kept getting IPs, and I really like that they kind of are just focusing their efforts on I don't know if I say if they're doing any more Batman stuff, but like Walking Dead, I know they're still working on the world, and Wolf Among Us, great series that don't deserve the treatment of spending 5 minutes on that world.
Apparently they made a Homestar Runner game. I had no idea.
They made a Homestar Runner game. I've never heard of this until right now.
It's called Strong Bad's Cool Game for Attractive People.
All right, Telltale's hitting good strikes. I like it. I like
it. Apparently has 5 episodes.
Oh.
Huh.
Oh,
I had no idea. That is cool. And it's trademarked in 2008, so it's an older one.
Oh man, that's so wild. It's so wild. They have such a wide
yeah.
It's Telltale is so it's so wild to me. Oh man. But yeah, I mean I think Telltale has a really truthfully, I think they have a really good future. I think there's a lot of stuff that they can I don't think this time they're gonna fall back into their same ways. I think their management, from what I've seen, I know they have really dedicated teams now, and I know they kind of got slapped back in place when Robert Kirkman, when Sky something, one of
Skybound,
Skybound, when Skybound knocked him back into the right frame of mind with I know all of their team was we really want to keep doing stuff, but we don't want to work on 10 million different IPs.
Yeah, well, you're spreading yourself too thin at that point, and obviously the quality was suffering, and they weren't meeting deadlines, and I don't know. I guess they're just running out of money.
Yeah, 110%.
At the end of the day. And another thing is, although these games are fantastic, I honestly, how big is their fan base? How many copies are they selling?
Oh, I don't even know. I know, that's such a good question, Will. That's such a good question.
Google knows.
Oh,
actually, the Walking Dead game sells 8.5 million copies.
See, I think that really did a lot to kind of. I'm pretty sure, in my eyes, The Walking Dead being as popular as it was gave them the opportunity to spend money on everything else.
Okay.
But they're early. Like I think their main series did really well. Like I think Walking Dead did really well. I'm saying this from what I assume, but I know like Wolf Among Us was always like a hot seller. Batman was always a hot seller.
Well, apparently made they sold 85 million copies of all their games together.
See, and that's good money. Like my thing is just like focus on the ones you do, man. Like you can't like put out 10 million different tiny games that aren't like quality and then expect like everyone to be like, this is a great company. Like it sucks. But I think now that they have a new focus, I think they're gonna start kicking it in the right direction.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm excited. I kind of hope they make more Walking Dead games just because I've enjoyed it so much, but I also want more Batman games.
Yeah, me too. Well,
and Spider-Man.
Yes, man, please.
Only if it's on every console. I'm going to be so upset. I'm so sad that Spider-Man's only on PlayStation. I get it. Like, it's Sony, and they need their exclusives too, but gosh, it's Spider-Man. I really want it on everything.
I know, man. Well, it was funny when they, like, released, like, they were like, Wolverine, and, like, here's all these other 10 million IPs that they're like, PlayStation only. And I'm like,
God, the Wolverine, it doesn't even make sense to me, because Wolverine's not even owned by Sony, so what the hell?
It's also a weird. I can get into this all day, but it's a weird. I love him, but it's a weird choice for like an RPG. I'm excited to see what they do with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure I will just be fuming in the corner with all my Xbox, stroking it. You know,
you're like, we'll get games soon, please.
Xbox is buying everyone soon. Sony, you will be also under the fold.
We have Halo.
That's it. Halo and Gears. That's all I need.
I don't need anything else. Oh, man.
All right. Well, I think we've run our course on talking about Telltale. I'm getting into the console wars now. We should probably end it.
I'm with you. We can be safe.
Yes.
But yes, we can end it.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for stopping by. This was a really fun conversation, and thanks, Billy.
Thanks for having me, man.
One more time, what's your favorite Telltale game?
Dude, Walking Dead, fine. The whole series is just good. I'd go check.
What's your favorite episode? I don't think I asked that.
4 all day.
Don't tell me. I haven't played it yet.
Your heart's gonna break, man. Go for it.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it, sort of, but also at the same time hesitant.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck, man.
Thanks.
What's yours before we go? What was yours?
That's tough. I'd say the first one right now. Okay. I think the very end of the second game is my favorite part, just because I was not expecting to have to like essentially sacrifice Kenny, and that got me.
Yeah, dude.
Because I was so relieved when I saw him like in the very beginning of the game, because like, oh, I love Kenny, he's back, and I actually felt like I was Clementine for a moment, like welcoming this person back into my life.
Dude, I cannot. Please update me when you go back and like and finish the fourth one, because I cannot wait to see what you say.
I'm very excited. All right, well, I'm looking forward to Wolf Among Us 2. Hopefully this kind of game, I think they switched over to a new engine though. I realized we didn't even cover that. So they should address the issues that we have with the engine, and I'm looking forward to what they have in store for the future.
Same here, man. Don't be boxy. Make it
exactly. All right, thanks guys. As always, I am Will from the CHRILLCAST.
And I'm Billy from Tales, and also the CHRILLCAST sometimes. Whenever.
Yes. You're definitely a member of the CHRILLCAST. You can just sign up for the CHRILLCAST.
Good. All right.
Yes. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
See you guys.
Bye.